This is the Iowa Weather Report for Tuesday, January 28th, 2014. And now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. This is at noon today, and we unfortunately still have the flow straight out of the north, and that's going to continue to bring the cold air into the state. The piece of energy moving across Mexico and into Texas is going to bring some overrunning. With the cold air seeping into the south, that's going to bring some very wintry weather across the Gulf Coast and into the Carolinas. Around here, it's just sunny, it's just cold, highs single digits into the teens. That'll really warm up Wednesday as winds turn west to southwesterly. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s across the state with plenty of sunshine. But then, unfortunately, that's not going to last much longer either, because here comes the next system here on Thursday with a little bit of snow. Right now, accumulations look to be about an inch, maybe a little more, with highs dropping back into the teens to lower 20s here on Friday, as we'll be between systems, one off to our east over the Great Lakes into the Ohio River Valley, and another over the Colorado Rockies back into the Intermountain West, and then that one will move in here on Saturday, and that'll bring us some snow, maybe an inch or two with that system. It'll be ending by Saturday afternoon into the evening, and then the rest of the weekend as we head off into Sunday, it looks a little bit better. You can see high pressure overhead, temperatures in the teens to lower 20s, which is about 5 to 10 degrees below seasonal levels for the end of January into the 1st of February. Any precipitation is going to be across the southeast. And then as we head into the work week next Monday, we have a little bit of precipitation over the southern plains, a little lake effect snow, maybe some snow in the Colorado Rockies and the high plains. A week from today, next Tuesday, you can see a ridge pumping up over eastern Alaska and the Yukon, and that's not a good sign because that means more cold air is waiting to be dislodged southward. And you can see that with that down up there and a storm developing to our south. This is a storm we'll have to watch to see if this could bring us some snow. The latest model run here is showing that most of the precipitation should miss us to the south. Going into the extended period, you can see a trough axis just to the west of the state, some energy across Texas and Oklahoma, and the flow fairly zonal, a little bit wavy at this point. And that could bring more cold air down. You can see just the floodgates from this high up in the Northwest Territories flooding into the northern plains, and that could bring maybe temperatures back down near zero or below zero once again if this is right. And then at the end of the forecast, we have pretty much a zonal flow here on the 12th of February. West to east, it's a fairly quick moving pattern, and with a quick moving pattern, and it fairly flat, that means temperatures may be near seasonal levels. We can only hope we can have seasonal levels by this point, because then that would be temperatures maybe around the freezing mark. Any precipitation looks to be in the northern tier of the country, but this is still more than 2 weeks out. Satellite image from last evening, and we had a frontal system moving off the east coast. You can see that across the New England states through the western Carolinas, and then over the flow coming from the Pacific over Texas, and that's bringing in some wintry weather with the cold air coming down. Winter storm warnings along the Gulf Coast and up the Carolina coast. Wind chill advisories and warnings in the northern tier, and some winter weather issues also in the northern Rockies. QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Saturday evening at 6 o'clock, showing around here maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch of liquid equivalent precipitation, heaviest across the east and southeast coast and also across the far west.